What is up, fanatics, fan guy addicts? It's your boy, Josh Fanguy, coming to you with another edition of the Ultimate Fan Guy. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about HBO's Watchmen. I gave it a pretty scathing review last week, and I just watched episode 2. I'm going to start by saying it was an improvement over episode 1. The you know I still have a problem with the overall arc of the show, the overall premise. I think it is hyper liberal nonsense. It's very divisive. It's very race driven, and I'm just over the whole race thing, man. Like, I'm just over it. So I think the fact that it's just another show trying to demonize the white man and all that stuff is just, I don't know. They could have just done better with the whole plot arc and made it a little less race related. That being said, second episode a lot better, even though quite literally the second best actor on this entire series died in episode 1. Not going to give away who that is. And then the best actor of the series, it's only been featured for maybe 5 minutes in 2 episodes. So I definitely wish we got to see more of. I'll tell you who the best actor, in my opinion, is, and that's Jeremy Irons. He's only been shown in about 5 minutes of the first 2 episodes. I did look up at the IMDb and saw his name, and being familiar with the Watchmen. Again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but he is a famous character from the Watchmen series. So, I feel like at least that has some potential to go somewhere. And he's definitely a pretty sick and twisted character. So that's cool. Um, and that was pretty interesting. And then, they got some cool little plot twisty sort of weird stuff going on where uh, it's a very confusing show. Like, I really don't know what's going on yet. But the second episode was way better than the first in terms of just being interesting, kind of making you think, kind of introducing some interesting plot elements with the old man and the him having friends in high places, and they added a little bit of intrigue and cool stuff to that. So I'm keeping this one real short because I'm really trying not to give too many spoilers here. But I will say that episode 2 of Watchmen gets a 4.5 to 5 out of 10 from me, which is way better than the 1.5 to 2 of the first episode. I still have a problem with the overall arc of the show, but for some reason it bothered me less in the second episode. I think it might be because I think the first episode was so terrible for me simply because I had such high hopes for it. And when you go into something with these huge expectations and it turns out to be a complete and utter letdown, I think it ruined it for me. So that's why I think I just bashed it last week. This episode, I think I had a better idea going into it, what to expect. I'm going to be getting a lot of hyper liberal drivel. It's going to be, kill the white man, kill him until he is dead, sort of vibe to it. So, knowing that going into this episode, knowing that there was a severe hyper liberal agenda in play, and kind of having a little bit better idea of what to expect, I think it improved it for me simply because my hopes were super low going into the second episode as opposed to super high going into the first. So, would I recommend Watchmen? Yeah, tentatively yes. Though it's a tentative yes because I'm just not sure exactly how I feel about it yet. But definitely some potential, and I'm at least curious to see where it goes now. And I'm glad I decided to watch the second episode because it was better than the first. That being said, I could still seeing this be a total flop of a show. I think it's not going to appeal to a lot of people because it is just so divisive and race driven. And again, when you watch a show like this, you're not watching it the way you watch Schindler's List. You're not watching it the way you're watching Sophie's Choice. You're watching it to escape into a world of fantasy. You're not watching it for a bummer and like Yeah, like an alternate world where there's still, I don't know, man. Anyway, I better go before I continue to lower my score for it because it's just whoever wrote this, just man, just fuck you, writer. You ruined a good writers. You ruined a good. You had a lot to work with Watchmen. You had a lot to work with, and you just failed. You just flippin' failed. The lead character sucks. The ugh. Anyway, yeah. See, I'm already. It gets a 3 now. It just dropped from a 5 to a 3. Needless to say, still better than the 2 of the first episode. But watch it at your own risk. But it was better than the first, and I am kind of curious to see where the whole Jeremy Irons arc goes with it, and maybe even see some of the OG Watchmen. We'll see. I don't know. But so that's it. That's what I got to say about that. I'm also about to review the Purge TV show, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, fan addicts, fan guy addicts, I'll be seeing you around. Much love.